The final race for Dick Williams, and I think it's going to be something to remember. We are ready. Now let's get ready for the most famous words in motorsports.
By the grace of God, it's 600 horsepower. Gentlemen, start your engines.
The new London Waterford Speedball, Dave Billable.
Keith Rocco, Bill Anderson bring him off turn number 4, and we are underway. Rocco jumps out to the early lead, and John Polio will go to the inside in his battle with Bill Anderson.
He tried to go to the inside, but now he lays back, and he has to worry about Mike Christopher in car number 82. As they bullet their way out the corner, it is Keith Rocco trying to make him move a little deeper in the field. Rob Janovic started 6, and he has already picked up a position.
And Janovic has his hands full as Jeff Rocco is to the inside in that 18 machine. And right on the back bumper of Janovic, the 35 of Andrew Moore begins to growl and pulls alongside Rocco.
Now Jeff Rocco, a very underrated driver. He has won several late model races, never winning in a modified, as Rocco has dominated the first 3 laps. And things are getting spread out, trying to make a move. He's Mike Christopher is pretty far back, but in only 3 laps. And this, we're not even scratching the surface of this race. So now it is time to reserve, man. Rocco has to be the first to accelerate. Bill Anderson was right with him, but it is Rocco pulling away, and the Beacon trying to stay with the kid.
So Anderson trying to fight back, but he has to worry now about John Polio, who's down low and locking Anderson out. Polio will move into the 2nd spot at the line as they go into 1.
So the inside grove is very kind to Jonathan Polio, as nipping at his heels. That looks like a Janovic in car number 51 as they roll off the corner. Janovic is in 3rd, and right behind him is Andrew Moeller in car number 35. And Andrew Moeller, he seems to save his best performances for the biggest races. Moeller gets underneath Anderson.
Anderson locked out on the outside. Behind him, Mike Christopher is moving into the 6th spot, and Christopher will go down low as they try to pick up the pace and close in on Moeller and Anderson.
In the second half of the season, Mike Christopher has had a difficult time in second half of races. Anderson having a battle with Mike Christopher, and Anderson is able to win that. Up at the front, he's been there for the entire distance so far, is Keith Rocco, with Polio gaining 1 spot. And then in the number 3 spot, Rob Janovic Jr. as Janovic, Shane Hopkins is helping the team. We see the sparks flying on the backstretch.
And there's quite a battle going on for the A spot. Dennis Gator down low, trying to grab the spot away from Corey DiMatteo. DiMatteo gets it, and also going by Gator now is Todd Owen in the 81.
And Owen has the advantage on the outside as he moves into 8th place, and Gator 1 spot behind him. And the yellow comes out. I think there was a little issue. And the field is bunched up, and Rocco is the drum major of the parade.
They come off turn number 4, and once again, Keith Rocco gets the jump, trying to follow in that tracks. There's a 51 of Janovic. Can Janovic get underneath Polio as they bounce their way off turn 2?
Not yet. He got about a quarter of the way underneath and then fell back, and he wanted to try again, but filling the inside lane was Polio. Now Moeller trying to get by the 51 of Janovic as they smoke bomb their way off the corner. Andrew Moeller is in the top 3. Once again, a lot of sparks on the backstretch.
And that smoke is coming from the 6. It looks like if Corey DiMatteo, Matt, in trouble a little further back as a couple of cars get banged up off turn number 3. And it's still DiMatteo smoking until he finally spins in turn 2.
Craig Merriman, and it was announced yesterday that he will no longer be a flagger for NEMA after 12 seasons, but he will be here all season long next year. Rocco with the jump, as he looked like a cobra. Andrew Moeller on the inside trying to move into 2nd, and Andrew Moeller gets the nostrils of that car in 2nd place.
And locked out on the outside is John Polio, and he has to worry about Rob keeping them all on the outside. A little trouble further back in the field, but the race goes on into turn number 1, and Andrew Moeller tries to get second away, but here comes John Pulio fighting back on the outside.
As there was a problem.
Moeller to his right, pace car pulls to the infield, and the field begins to roll into turn number 3. They pick up the pace, and Rocco picks up the pace. Grabs a jump on Moeller, has the lead. Moeller trying to fight back on the outside, and right behind them, trying to fill that spot, is Rob Janovic in the 51.
Boy, having some giddy up is Moeller as he gets to Rocco. Trouble, cars pound the wall. Yellow is out into the field. And now we are ready to go back to work. Let's see what Keith Rocco can do on this sub-foul restart. Explosion, like an arrow being shot out of a bow, but look at the 35 of Moeller trying to make a move on the outside, and he does by a sliver, as leading by about a teardrop. Andrew Moeller, they dive bomb off turn number 4, and your leader on lap number 13 as Andrew Moeller is taking over the lead.
Moeller powers his way to the front by Keith Rocco. Also now to the outside, that is Rob Janovic. Can he make the pass by Rocco? Rocco holds him off as they dive bomb their way into turn 1.
Pulio trying to squeeze his way underneath Janovic. Can't make it stick. Janovic on the attack. The back bumper of the Keith Rocco car is under siege as they roll off the corner, cranking it up. In the top 5 is Todd Owen, so that number 81 car has been strong for the first 15 laps.
About a car length advantage for Andrew Moeller in the 35. Keith Rocco down low, trying to pick up the pace, runs in second, then it's a car back to the 51 of Janovic, and Janovic has an intruder. That's once again John Pulio in the 83 trying to sneak by.
Now Owen wandered to the outside, and now Pulio wanders to the outside. So Owen wanted to go around him, and unfortunately, he didn't have an alley. Pulio, a little Morse code on the back bumper of the Janovic car. Pulio looking for some elbow room, and he can't find enough to make a move. Instead, he finds Todd Owen sitting on his lap.
Todd Owen to the outside of Pulio. Looks to see if he can grab the 4th spot. He'll do so. Now we'll see if he can get involved with Rob Janovic in the battle for 3rd, while Andrew Moeller continues to lead the field.
Now Glenn Reen, he has a lot of tour experience, and that means he has a lot of running long races. Trying to make a move is Dennis Gaeta. So it is time to turn back the clock. The battle for the lead between Moeller and Rocco. And Rocco, there's no pretense of what he wants to do. Try to get underneath Moeller on the inside.
Reen with a shower of sparks as he got into the back wall a little bit. He has Dennis Gaeta applying the pressure on him as they go down into turn number 1. Reen able to hold him off, but at the front, by a car length, it's Andrew Moeller leading the charge.
Owen looking for room against Janovic as he tries to torpedo his way underneath the 51 car. Let's see what Owen does. He starts to backpedal, and Janovic had a challenge. He's done that against Owen a lot this season, refused to give up the spot.
And Owen continues to apply the pressure. Closing in is John Pulio in the 83. Also closing in, Glenn Reen and Dennis Gaeta as they've separated themselves and now begin to make their mark on the 83 of Pulio.
Tim Jordan has moved into the top 10. Remember, he started in the number 27 position, and now Moeller is able to expand his lead. It's a tight battle between Janovic and Pulio and Owen for 3rd and 4th. Then it's Pulio. Now things are getting interesting again because Dennis Gaeta and Glenn Reen are going at it.
And Gaeta has won that position away. And Matt, he looks pretty quick out there. He's closing in on John Pulio, and it may be a matter of time before Dennis Gaeta sits in 5th.
And the key to that car, can it last for 100 laps? It has lasted for 26 laps, but we have...
As we get ready to go, green as the field rolls into turn number 3. Green is out, we're underway, and Rocco streaks out to the lead in turn number 1, and trying to fight back on the outside is Andrew Moeller.
Another Rocco eruption. So the second place car, Keith Rocco, picks up a position Moeller. He is trying to hang on to Rocco's shirt tail as they go back into turn one. Look at Todd Owen moving into the top three. So it's been a steady first 17 laps for Todd Owen. And there is some companionship behind him. Dennis Gaeta has moved into fourth. He is on the outside.
3 laps. Craig Merriman has his finger on the pulse as Andrew Moeller, Keith Rocco bring him off turn number 4, and Rocco on the outside this time. He gets the jump in turn number 1 and gets the lead.
And that might have been a move to avoid the speedy dry as Rocco is able to launch himself into the lead. Now a problem for Moeller as lurking on the outside, Dennis Gaeta trying to move into second place. And Dennis Gaeta turns back the clock and gets into second.
Dennis Gaeta may be the story of this race. Now he runs second. He'll try to track down Keith Rocco. Andrew Moeller is behind them. And then it is the 3 of Matt Galko who sits in the 4th spot.
Gaeta was retired when Rocco started winning championships. Now he is going after him. There is a gap between the two drivers. It was 0.4 seconds, and it is still 0.4. Moeller is third, and Matty Ice, he has started to move up, and he is a top 4 car holding off JP.
And JP has to worry about the 74 of Glenn Reen, that red machine, down right behind Pulio as they go down the backstretch. Now Pulio will try to make a move on Gaeta in turn number 3.
And let's see if Pulio can make a move against Galko, and that is not happening yet. At the front of the field, Gaeta holding off Moeller. Now Gaeta picks up his momentum a little. Keith Rocco is led mostly the entire way, and Pulio goes out of line, trying to pick up a spot, but he just didn't have enough to get by Galko.
The battle is really on deeper in the field, Matt. As you look back now, Mike Christopher and Todd Owen try to work their way through the field. It is Christopher underneath the number 6 of Joe Gaeta as they're in turn number 2.
Remember at the start of the race, Timmy Jordan started in the back row. He is now up to 7th in car number 47, and now he is giving Reen something to think about. Galko is there, but one of the stories, Timmy Jordan. So we have a couple going on. Of course, the excellence of Rocco, the perseverance of Gaeta, and the out-of-nowhere performance by Timmy Jordan.
Now, Jordan not done yet. He's going to go to the high side. Trouble for Galko as he just immediately pulls it into the infield, and that allows Tim Jordan to pick up a spot.
And he did it the easy way with Jordan with Galko in distress. And the plot thickens at the front of the field between Rocco and Moeller. It's about a Q-tip separating the two drivers as they whipsort their way off the turn. Dennis Gaeta in third, and then we go to Pulio and Reen, but things are heating up as it looks like Moeller has a good enough car to give Rocco some headaches.
So as they come off turn number 4, Moeller to the back bumper of Rocco as they go into turn number 1. Behind them, Mike Christopher will try to make his way into the top 7 as he'll work his way underneath Doug Maservi down the backstretch.
And Reen is ready for an attack from Jordan as Jordan trying to move into the top 6. We see sparks fly. It looked like Maservi's car created some sparks, but no problems. The plot remains the same at the front of the field. Here comes Moeller down low, trying to dive bomb his way underneath Rocco. The biggest firecracker in the display might belong to Andrew Moeller.
And Rocco able to shrug him off for now. Moeller back on the attack. Another car making his way. He made a 2-for-1 pass. Took Maservi and Rob Janovic. That's Mike Christopher. He is now sitting in the 7th spot as they go to off turn 2 and down the